Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. You know we love to do a deep dive into these topics that really matter for your retirement. Today, we're going to be focusing on choosing the best gold IRA depository to really secure those investments and make sure your golden years are truly golden.
You got it.
We're going to be using the best gold IRA depositories article for 2024, and that's on Gold IRA Blueprint, of course.
Of course.
And you know what our mission is, right?
What's that?
We're trying to give you the knowledge you need, the power is in your hands to make those really informed choices.
Yeah.
Especially for you American retirees, this is such a big decision, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you want to make sure you're making the best one.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about making things easier, if you want a free checklist, I mean, who doesn't love free stuff, right?
Exactly.
Head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's going to help you choose the right gold IRA company. And especially if you're an American retiree, this is really targeted at you. Now, let's just get right into it. Have you ever wondered what exactly a gold IRA is? Like, how is it different from a traditional IRA? We hear about those all the time,
We
right?
do. It can be kind of confusing.
It's a little confusing.
So think of it this way. A traditional IRA is like a digital file filled with stocks and bonds. They're out there somewhere.
Okay.
But with a gold IRA, you're talking about a treasure chest filled with actual physical precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, even palladium.
Wow. So you're not investing in some company, you're investing in gold. But why would somebody choose that route? What makes a gold IRA so appealing?
I think, in a word, security.
Okay.
Think back to 2008, the financial crisis.
Yeah.
Everybody was panicking, but guess what? Gold prices surged by 25%.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Imagine if you had a gold IRA during that time. Peace of mind. Watching your retirement thrive while the rest of the world, well, it wasn't doing so hot.
So it's like, while everything else is falling apart, your investments are actually doing well.
That's the power of gold. It's a hedge against inflation. It holds its value, especially when that paper money, it starts losing its purchasing power.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like an insurance policy, but for your retirement savings.
But isn't gold a bit old-fashioned?
What do you mean?
Like, aren't there more modern ways to diversify your portfolio nowadays?
Well, gold isn't just about nostalgia.
Okay.
It's really about strategic diversification. I mean, think about it. Gold often moves in the opposite direction of the stock market.
Oh, okay.
So when your stocks are down, your gold might be up, and vice versa.
Gotcha.
It smooths out those bumps in your portfolio, reduces your overall risk.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about betting on gold. It's more like creating a more balanced and resilient retirement plan.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Choosing a gold IRA depository, it's not as simple as you might think.
Oh, really? How so?
It's more than just picking a place to stash your gold. You're choosing a financial partner,
Yeah.
Trust is really paramount here.
So how do you go about finding a depository that's, as trustworthy as Fort Knox?
Well, it starts with research.
Just like any major financial decision, you want a depository with a proven track record. So check those ratings. Better Business Bureau, Trustpilot, those are good places to start.
Okay.
But don't stop there. Dig a little deeper.
Okay.
Look at independent financial forums, see what people are really saying.
So it's like checking references before you hire somebody.
Exactly. You want to make sure they've got a solid reputation. You want to see a history of satisfied clients, make sure they've treated people right.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. So you've checked their reputation. What's next?
Storage and insurance. Got to think about that.
Okay.
There are two main types of storage.
Okay.
Segregated, where your gold is kept separate from everyone else's, it's all yours.
Okay.
And then there's commingled. That's where it's kind of mixed all together with other people's gold.
So segregated is like having your own private vault,
You got it.
and commingled is like a shared safety deposit box.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Segregated offers more security, more peace of mind, but it usually costs a bit more. Commingled is more budget-friendly.
Right.
But if you're all about individual control and security, maybe not the best choice. And of course, no matter which type you choose, make sure your investment is fully insured.
Yeah, of course, against theft, damage, anything that could happen.
Exactly.
It's like buying insurance for your house. You hope you never need it,
Right.
but you're sure glad you have it if something goes wrong.
You got it.
And speaking of costs, what about those fees?
Oh, the fee.
The ones that can really eat into your returns. How do you avoid getting nickel and dime to death?
Transparency is key. Before you sign on with a depository, make sure you understand their fee structure. Like, really understand it. Management fees, storage fees, transaction fees for buying and selling your metals. It's all got to be clear.
Okay.
Shop around, compare different providers, see who's offering the most competitive rates.
It's like comparing airline tickets.
Exactly.
You don't just book the first one you see. You look for the best value, the best pricing,
Yeah.
and that transparency. But it's not just about the numbers, right? It's a long-term relationship. So customer service, that's got to play a huge role too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You want a depository that's responsive, knowledgeable, and proactive. You want regular updates, clear communication, and maybe even some educational resources to help you stay informed.
It's like having a financial partner, someone who's in your corner, ready to answer your questions,
Yeah.
guide you along the way.
Exactly. Someone you can trust.
Yeah, someone you can trust. And speaking of guidance, that Gold IRA Blueprint article, they highlight some of the top-rated Gold IRA depositories for 2024.
They do.
So let's delve into these companies, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's see what makes them stand out. So, first up, we've got Regal Assets.
Regal Assets, okay.
And what's really interesting about them is they offer these self-directed accounts.
Oh, okay.
So you get a lot more control over your investments.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They've got a really diverse selection of metals, too, and their customer service, people rave about it.
So if you're someone who likes to be really hands-on with your investments,
Yeah,
Regal Assets might be a good option.
could be, yeah.
What about Goldco? I've heard that name a lot in the Gold IRA world.
Goldco, yeah, they're a big player.
They are.
I mean, they really focus on education
Yeah.
and giving investors the tools they need,
Yeah.
extensive educational resources. They've got these really robust investment platforms,
Oh,
and their customer support is known for being super responsive.
okay. So they've got a good reputation for that.
Yeah, I mean, they've even gotten awards from the Better Business Bureau and Trustpilot.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, for their excellent service.
Okay, so how does their customer service stack up against some of the other top-rated companies? Is there a noticeable difference?
Well, it's always good to compare, do your due diligence.
Right.
Goldco's got a great rep, no doubt.
Yeah.
But there are other companies like Birch Gold Group, they really prioritize that personalized service too. They're known for offering these tailored consultations to help you create a strategy that really fits your needs.
Oh, wow. So they work with you one-on-one.
Exactly. They figure out what you need, what your goals are.
Yeah.
And they're really competitive when it comes to fees too, which is always a plus.
Always a plus, yeah.
Nobody wants to pay more than they have to.
Exactly. So it's not just about finding a company with a good reputation.
Right.
It's about finding the one that's the right fit for you.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that brings us to Augusta Precious Metals.
Augusta Precious Metals, okay.
Their whole thing is transparency.
Oh, okay.
They want you to know exactly what you're getting into right from the start.
Yeah, that's important.
No surprises.
No surprises.
And they're big on education, too, making sure their clients really understand everything.
Like that.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to investing.
Absolutely, for sure.
Now, what about Noble Gold? Have you heard of them?
Noble Gold, yeah, I think so. What makes them different?
Well, they're all about the customer,
Okay.
Customer-centric approach. That's what they call it.
Gotcha.
They offer a good range of metals, and they really pride themselves on clear communication
Oh,
and transparency in everything they do.
so you really feel like you can trust them.
Exactly. And that's so important, especially with something as important as your retirement savings.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to mess around with that.
Exactly. You want to be confident.
It sounds like there are a lot of great options out there.
There are.
Before we move on, let's just remind everyone, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with all this information,
Yeah, it can be a lot.
head over to goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
That's right.
They have a fantastic free checklist
Yeah, absolutely free.
that'll help you compare these different companies, find the right fit for your needs.
It's a great resource.
So check that out.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's say you've done your research, you're ready to take the plunge.
Okay, I'm ready.
What are the actual steps involved in opening a Gold IRA account? How do you do it?
Well, it's pretty straightforward, actually, once you break it down.
Okay,
So, first you choose your depository.
right.
Based on all those factors we talked about, reputation, storage options, fees, customer service, all that good stuff.
So it's like building a house. You got to start with a solid foundation.
Exactly.
And in this case, that foundation is the right depository.
You got it.
Okay, so you've chosen your depository. What's next?
Then you got to go through the application process.
Okay.
The usual stuff.
The paperwork.
Yeah, you got to provide your ID, proof of residence, fill out some forms.
Okay, sounds familiar.
Yeah, and you also need to choose a custodian.
The custodian.
Yeah, that's a separate entity, usually a bank or a trust company.
Okay,
They're going to hold your assets and handle all the administrative stuff for your Gold IRA.
so they're like the caretakers of your gold.
Yeah, you could say that.
Making sure everything's in order, following the rules.
Exactly. They're the ones who make sure everything is running smoothly.
Okay, so how do you choose a custodian?
Well, you want to make sure they have experience with gold IRAs specifically.
Oh.
Someone who knows the ins and outs of these accounts.
It's like finding a mechanic who specializes in vintage cars.
Exactly.
You wouldn't take your classic Corvette to just any garage, right?
Right. You want someone who knows what they're doing.
You want an expert.
Exactly.
Okay.
That makes sense. And just like with a classic car, you gotta know the rules of the road when it comes to gold IRAs.
Yeah, so you're saying there are rules.
Oh, yeah. The IRS in the States, they have regulations.
Yeah, of course they do.
Governing these accounts, about what type of gold you can hold, contribution limits, all that stuff.
So you can't just pick any gold bar or coin off the shelf.
Nope. There are requirements.
Got to meet the standards.
Exactly. The IRS has guidelines about the purity and the type of gold that qualifies.
Oh?
We're talking about specific coins like American Eagles, Canadian Maple Leafs, or gold bars that meet certain standards. It's all about making sure your investment is legit.
So there's a lot to learn, but it seems like there's a lot of potential, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For those who are willing to do their homework.
Absolutely. Knowledge is key here.
Okay.
And remember, the Gold IRA Blueprint website, it's a gold mine of information.
Literally.
They've got articles, expert insights, and their team is always ready to answer your questions.
They're like your personal gold IRA guides.
Yeah, you could say that.
All right, so you've chosen your depository, you've done the application, you've got your custodian, you know all the rules.
Okay, I'm all set.
What happens next?
Now you get to fund your account and choose your investments.
The fun part.
That's right.
Okay. How do you fund it?
Well, you can roll over funds from existing retirement accounts like your 401k or 403b.
Okay.
That's a really tax-efficient way to consolidate your savings.
Oh, that's good.
You can also do a direct transfer from another IRA. Or you can make new contributions, but there are limits set by the IRS.
Right. So it's like budgeting. You got to decide where the money's coming from and how much you want to put in.
Exactly.
So you funded your account. Now you get to choose your gold.
That's right, the moment you've been waiting for.
This is the exciting part.
But it's not just about picking the prettiest coins.
Okay.
You got to think about your strategy, your risk tolerance.
Right.
Some people like to diversify
Yeah.
with a mix of coins, bars, maybe even gold ETFs.
How do those?
ETF, those are exchange-traded funds.
Okay.
They give you exposure to the gold market without actually owning the physical metal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like a digital representation of gold.
So you can track the price without actually having the gold in your hands.
Exactly. It's a good option if you don't want to deal with storage and insurance.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there's a trade-off.
What's that?
You don't get that tangible security of owning the real thing.
It's like the difference between having a picture of a sunset and actually watching the sun go down.
Yeah, exactly.
They're both beautiful, but it's a different experience.
Right, and that's something to keep in mind.
So there's no one right way to do a gold IRA.
Nope, it all depends on you.
It's all about what fits your needs,
Exactly.
your goals, your comfort level.
Some people love holding the physical gold.
Yeah, I can see that.
Others prefer the ease of ETFs.
Makes sense.
It's all about what works for you.
Sounds like there's a lot to consider, but a lot of potential too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To really create a gold IRA that reflects your vision.
Exactly. It's your retirement after all.
And that's why it's so important to do your research, ask questions, get advice from trusted professionals.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, let's remind everyone about that free checklist again.
Yes, definitely.
goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Don't miss out.
It's a great resource to help you navigate the world of gold IRAs
It really is.
and make those informed decisions about your financial future.
You got it.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So we've talked about the ins and outs of gold IRAs, choosing a depository, figuring out those fees, funding your account. Now let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's talk about the history of gold. What makes it such a fascinating investment?
Well, it's interesting, right? Gold has been a symbol of wealth and security for centuries. I mean, think about it. Civilizations all over the world have treasured gold.
Yeah.
From ancient Egypt to the Roman Empire, even today.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like this thread through history, It connects us to the past.
It makes you wonder, what is it about gold that's been so captivating for humanity for so long?
Yeah, I think part of it is psychological. Gold is tangible, you can hold it, it's beautiful, it's enduring, it represents something real and lasting in a world that often feels, uncertain and fleeting.
Yeah.
But it's also practical. I
Okay.
mean, gold is scarce, it's durable, and it's recognized everywhere as a store of value.
So it's not just a shiny object, it's a strategic asset
Yeah.
with a history of, like, resilience.
Exactly.
But how does that translate to today?
Yeah.
Like, in today's world, why would someone choose gold over, say, a tech stock or real estate?
I think that's where diversification comes in.
Okay.
Think of your retirement portfolio like a garden.
Okay, I like that.
You wouldn't just plant one type of flower, right?
Right.
You want variety, you want different colors, different
To
textures.
make it beautiful and interesting?
Exactly. You want a resilient ecosystem.
So gold's like a hardy succulent in that garden. It can handle anything.
Yeah, it can withstand those different conditions, adds a little something different to the mix.
So when the stock market's going crazy, gold's just chilling.
Yeah, exactly. It's often uncorrelated with stocks and bonds.
Okay.
So when the market's volatile, gold can be that stabilizing force.
Keeps things steady?
Yeah, it can help you preserve your capital.
Okay.
And when inflation's high,
Yeah.
gold tends to hold its value better than paper money.
So it's like a shield against inflation.
Yeah, it protects your purchasing power.
It's like a financial shock absorber, smoothing out the bumps.
Exactly. Helping you stay on track for retirement.
But gold isn't perfect, right?
Well, no investment is perfect.
No.
Gold doesn't generate income like some stocks or bonds do, with dividends and interest.
Yeah.
It's more about preserving wealth and hedging against those uncertainties.
So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme?
No, not at all.
It's more of a long-term strategy
Yeah, for protecting what you've worked hard for.
for playing it safe.
Yeah, you could say that.
So it seems like gold plays a really important role in a balanced retirement plan.
I think so.
But for someone who's just starting to think about gold IRAs,
Yeah.
what are some of the key things they should remember?
Well, research is key, always.
Of course.
That Gold IRA Blueprint website, it's a fantastic resource. They
Yeah.
have articles, expert insights, and that free checklist we talked about.
Yep. goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Exactly. Use those resources. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Get advice from trusted professionals.
Right. And educate yourself, Learn about gold, how it works as an investment, the potential ups and downs.
So it's like starting any new adventure.
Exactly.
You got to be prepared, have a map, know what you're getting into.
And most importantly, remember that retirement planning is personal.
Yeah.
There's no one right way to do it.
It's about you.
It's about your goals, your values, your vision for the future.
What do you want your retirement to look like?
Yeah, how does gold fit into that picture?
That's a great question.
Can it help you create the retirement you've always dreamed of?
Those are some things to really think about. And as we wrap up this deep dive into gold IRAs,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
Beyond all numbers and strategies,
Right.
retirement is about freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's about having the time and resources to do what you love,
Spend time with loved ones.
to live a life with purpose, with joy.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And if gold can help you get there, well,
It's worth considering.
it's worth considering.
Well, thanks for joining us on this journey.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We hope you learned something new about gold IRAs and that you feel empowered to make those decisions about your financial future.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
And remember, the Gold IRA Blueprint website, it's always there for you, with guidance and support every step of the way.
All right. Well, until next time, happy investing, and may your golden years be filled with health, happiness, and abundance.
Here, here.